Good morning, everyone. So today we will see Assembler Directives. Okay. So in 8051 microcontroller, there are some Assembler Directives which are used to program. Okay. So first of all, what is assembler? So assembler is nothing but a software. Assembler is nothing but a software which is used to convert assembly language program into a machine language. So we know that a computer know only machine language. The human language don't know by the computer. Okay. So we write a 8051 program in assembly language, but that assembly language don't know the computer. Okay. So so for this purpose, we use assemble software. So that software convert assembly languages into a machine language. Okay. So in 8051, there are some assemble directives which are used by a assembler. Okay. So in 8051 handle 8-bit data and 16-bit address. So we know that 8051 is a 8-bit microcontroller. That means it operates on 8-bit data and there are 16 address lines. Okay. So some of directivity supported by a 8051 are first directivity is DB. DB means what? Defined byte. Okay. So this directivity tell the assembler that the size of data is 8-bit. So the full form of DB is a defined byte. So this DB directivity tell the assembler that the size of data is 8-bit. Okay. So here the one example is given XDB25H. Okay. So what is the meaning of this instruction? So this instruction indicate that the X is a variable. X is a variable and the value of this variable is 25. Okay. So XDB25H. So what is the meaning of this instruction? So X is a variable and the value of this variable is 25. Okay. So here DB is mentioned. That means the size of this variable is 8-bit. The size of this variable is 8-bit. That means this 25, the size of this 25 is in 8-bit. Okay. So how we write 25 in 8-bit? 25. That means there are 4 bits of 2 and 4 bits of 5. So 0, 0, 1, 0. Okay. This is the 2. And how we write 5? 0, 1, 0, 1. So total 8-bit. Okay. So the meaning of this instruction is X is a variable and the value of this variable is 25 and the size of this 25 is 8-bit. 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0. That means X is equal to 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1. Okay. So DB defined by this directivity tell the assembler that the size of a given variable or given data is a 8-bit. Okay. So here we'll define the size of the variable X as a 8-bit. So 25 will be stored as the 8-bit number. So this 25 number store in this variable as in a 8-bit format. Okay. This is the first directivity. Then the next one is DW. DW means defined work. DW means defined work. So this directivity tell the assembler that the size of data is 16-bit. The two memory locations are used for storing the number. Defined work. Here we define byte. Okay, and here we define word. So byte is a 8-bit. Matlab 8-bit means 1 byte. 8-bit. 8-bit means 1 byte. Okay, okay, and 2 byte. 2 byte means 1 word. 2 byte means 1 word. Okay, 1 word. Okay. So here we define word. That means the size of data is 16 bit. Why 16 bit? Because we know that 8 bit means 1 byte. 8 bit means 1 byte and 2 byte means one word. So one word contain 16 bits. One word contain 1 bit, 1 byte. Okay. And there is another byte, 1 byte. Okay. So this 2 byte means one word. Okay. So this 1 byte contain it 8 bit and this another byte contain another 8 bit. Okay, so total there are 16 bit. Total there are 16 bit. Okay, so 16 bit make a one word. 16 bit make a one word. So dw means what? Define word. So define word, this directivity tell the assembler that the size of a given data is 16 bit. Okay, so for storing this 16 bit, the memory location, two memory locations are required. Okay, so define word is used by the used by the assembler. Assembler directivity used by a 8051 microcontroller to tell the assembler that the given word, given data is a 16 bit and given data is a one word, which is of 16 bit. And for storing these 16 bits, two memory locations are required. Okay, now the next directivity is org. Org means origin. So this directivity tells the assembler that the program is a begin from starting address. The program is begin from a starting address. So org means origin. So this indicate that the program is begin from the starting address which is specified with org. So org is a keyword. Org, dw, db, these are the keyword which is used while programming in 8051 microcontroller. Okay, so if we write db means define byte. If we write dw means define word. And if we write org means origin, then microcontroller will understand that the program is start from this origin. Okay, now org0h, this is the another directivity. Okay, so this indicate that the program is a begin from the memory location 0h. The program is a begin from the memory location, that means 00, first memory location. So org0h indicate that the program is a begin from the initial memory location, and 0h is the first memory location of ROM memory. 0h is the first memory location of ROM memory. So org0 indicate that the program is a begin from a initial or starting memory location. Okay, now the next directivity is EQU. EQU means equate. EQU is a keyword which is used by the controller to program. Okay, and the meaning of this EQU directivity is equate. Okay, so this is used to define a constant without using any memory location. So XEQU 50H means X is equal to 50H. So in program, whenever X come, it is replaced by a 50H. So this directivity associated a label with a constant value. Okay. So this directivity is used to define a constant. So we know that constant value. So if we consider the pi, so we know that the value of pi is 3.1. Okay, pi is a constant and the value of pi is a 3.14. So similarly, in this way we define some constant. We define some constant by using this directivity. Okay, so XEQU 50H, that means the X is a constant and the value of this constant is 50. So if we define a pi in 8051, how we define pi? So pi E Q U 3.14H. That means the value of this pi is 3.14. So EQU is the assembler directivity which is used by the 8051 microcontroller, which indicate that x is a constant and the value of this constant is 50h. So to define constant, we use EQ directivity. Okay. Now the last directivity is end. So this end indicate that the program is end. This indicate that this directivities indicate that the program is ended. Okay. So this indicate the assembler that the end of program. It has to be statement of any assembler program. So any statement after end is ignored uh, by the assembler. So the following statement show the assembler directivities. So end directivity indicate that the program is ended. So whenever end word is come in a program, then assembler stop executing the program. So whenever we write after the end is ignored by the assembler. Whatever we write after the end. Okay. So here we mention some instructions. Here we mention some instruction. Okay. And then we write end. We write end. That means program is end. So whatever you may return after the end, all these statement or instructions are ignored by the assembler. Okay. So end word indicate that program is ended. So any statement after the end is ignored by the programmer. Okay. So org 00 means a program is the start. The meaning of this instruction is a program is start from origin and the address of origin is 0h. XDB 50h, that means the value of x is a variable and value of x is 50. db means what? Defined byte. So the x is a variable and the value of this x is a 50 and the size of 50 is 8 bit. Okay. Here then equ 25. That means here y is a constant. Here x is a variable and here y is a constant and the value of this constant is 25h. Okay. So in first is the first instruction mean that org 0h, that means origin. The program is start from original address which is starting address which is 0h. Okay. The next instruction is xdb 50h. So xdb 50h. So db means what? Defined byte. So here x is a variable. X is a variable. Okay. And the value of that variable is 50h and the size of that variable is 8 bit. So x is equal to 50. Okay. But the size of this 50 is 8 bit. Okay. Now the next instruction is YEQU25. That means here y is a constant. Why? Because here EQU directivity is mentioned. And what is the meaning of EQU here? This is defined used to define constant. So EQU directivity is used to define a constant. So here EQU directivity is mentioned. That means y is a constant. So y is a constant and the value of that constant is 25. Okay. So in this way we write program. So after writing program, the program end with the keyword end. So this end means that the program is end here. Then assembler stop assembling program. So whatever the statement after end is ignored by the assembler. Okay. So there are 6 directivity in 8051 microcontroller. Define db means define byte. So this directivity tell the assembler that the size of data is 8 bit. The next directivity is dw means define word. So this directivity tell the assembler that the size of data is 8 bit. For size of data is 16 bit. So for 8 bit we use db define bit, and for 16 bit we use dw define word. Then org means it indicate that program is a beginning from starting address. Program is beginning from starting address. And next is org 0h. Org 0h means the program is a begin from its initial address. Its initial address is 0. Okay. The next is EQU. EQU directivity is used to define a particular constant. Okay, and how we write instructions: XEQU50H means X is a constant and the value of that constant is 50H. Just similarly pi. So we know that pi. Pi is a constant and value of pi is 3.14. So similarly, so for defining the constant in 8051, we use EQU directivity. Okay. Then next is end. So this end directivity indicate the program is ended. Okay. So there are 6 directivity in 8051 microcontroller. These directivities are most important. Okay. There is always a 4 marks question. There is always a 4 marks question on this directivity. Explain the assemble directivities of 8051. So there is always a 4 marks question on these directivities. Okay. Now we will stop here. In next lecture we will see programs regarding 8051 microcontroller. Okay. Now we stop here.